Terence Crawford has been teasing a big fight at a bigger weight class, and he actually knocked out a heavyweight fighter while sparring. While Terence has been teasing a fight with Jermell Charlo or Canelo Alvarez, Jermell has warned Terence to stay down at his weight class. Jermell stated, "I'm putting Boots in there with Crawford. I want to see Boots and Crawford go at it. That would be nice. Leave us alone." Canelo Alvarez has seemingly thrown some shade toward Terence as well as he downplays his resume. Canelo stated, "No, look, like I always said, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just won one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter in Errol Spence. Other than that, I don't think he's beaten other great fighters like Spence. Jermell Charlo is a great fighter. He's a talented fighter and he's undisputed in his weight class. It's going to be a good fight, so I'm happy to be in this kind of fight, in the big fights." When it comes to Terence as a whole fighter, Carl Frampton believes that Terence is the best fighter of his generation. Carl stated, "There's a big statement that I want to make here. The fighter of our generation, everyone will probably agree, is Floyd Mayweather. I think that Terence Crawford is now the fighter of our generation. That performance beats Floyd Mayweather at his best. At welterweight, I genuinely believe that." Shane Mosley went a step further and said how he thinks Terence could handle Floyd in his prime. Shane stated, "Crawford hits hard. Crawford is very strong. He has long arms, southpaw, right-handed, and he's coming to get you. I could see Mayweather outboxing him, but I can also see Crawford catching him with one of those funny uppercuts. Money Mayweather, I think Crawford beats. Pretty Boy, I think it might be Pretty Boy because he's more aggressive." When one looks at the next fight ahead of Terence as he faces the rematch with Errol Spence, many fighters think that he's about to have a walk in the park. Joel Diaz stated, "No, Spence will not do any better. I think it will be worse for Errol Spence because now that Terence Crawford already got his number, and then his mentality after this beating is different. I mean, he's a warrior. Errol Spence is a warrior, says, okay, I'll fight him again. But honestly, realistically, it will be no difference. It will be the same outcome, and I think on the next one, it'll be more beneficial for Crawford in a better fashion. I mean, the fact that Errol Spence is moving to 54 is like Crawford is moving to 54 too. He's a big boy as well. And that night, I saw a Crawford bigger than Errol Spence. He looked bigger that night, so there is no difference." While everyone knows what to expect in a fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, rumors of them sparring caused a little drama with Terence though.
You know, there's a little rumor going around that y'all sparred once. Shout out to Shane Mosley Sr. He said, I guess, I don't know. He was there. I don't know. Was you there?
He said he was there.
I don't know. Terrence, you know, I knew it was this wrong. I didn't even click on it. I said Terrence would have said something.
Hey, listen, I love Shane. You know, but I ain't even gonna say nothing. Everybody knows.
Okay. All right. So everybody got your answers because people keep asking me. I said they would have said something.
Yordenis Ugas believes that a rematch at 154 will actually favor Spence though. Ugas stated, "Great performance by Crawford. Now he is number one pound for pound in the sport. I would like to see a rematch. Rematch at 154. I think that can be a great fight at 154. It will help Spence a lot." Even though Canelo thinks Errol Spence is the only good fighter Terence has beaten, it looks as though he's going to get to beat him twice. Eddie Hearn stated, "No, I don't think he beats Crawford. I don't think so. I think that was a taxing fight for Errol Spence. Without taking anything away from Terence Crawford's performance, there are starting to be a few miles on the clock for Spence. Whether it's lifestyle, retina, or car crash, whether it's tough fights, and that kind of fight last time would do some more to take some extra miles off the tank. I do think he'd be stronger at 154. He's been at 147 a long time, but I still think Terence Crawford is the big favorite in that fight. I don't think it's a fight people are clamoring for, so I think you're going to have to find something to get Spence off the pan for that rematch." Looking at potentially moving up in weight though, Oscar De La Hoya still gives Terence a good chance of beating Canelo. Oscar stated, "Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime, because, and this is, look, I said before, the big talented man will beat the small talented fighter, but Terence Crawford is not small. Terence Crawford is a big guy. He can walk around at 168 if he wants to, but with just the skill set alone, Terence Crawford is a master. He will make Canelo look like a child. He will make him look like a child. While Terence is the talk of the town now, he wasn't always in the spotlight like now, and he hates that it took so long for him to get his recognition. Terence stated, "A lot of people were like, man, you didn't look too happy after you won. I didn't see the excitement in you." I was like, man, I was happy. I was happy I had to prove myself to the world how great I knew I was. But at the same time, I was kind of disappointed at the same time that it took this long for me to get my recognition. For me to get a big marquee fight at this status at 35 years old. I've been champion for 9 years, going on 10 years in March. So I've been doing this game for a long time, you know? I'm just blessed to be the first man to be undisputed in the junior welterweight division and the first man to be undisputed in the welterweight division in the 4-belt era. The first man to be undisputed in 2 weight divisions. It's a blessing. You know, when you go back in the room and everybody wants to see the excitement, and I was like, I got that off my back. It was a sign of relief. Either way, Sean Porter doesn't think that fans are going to get to see Terence face Canelo.
But all that being said, we not getting no Canelo versus Terence Crawford. But here's what's bad.
Amazing.
Here's what's bad. It's bad that Canelo versus Bud Crawford, I think, makes more money than Canelo versus Benavidez. Of course. I think.
Of course.
Don't make sense. I think you're gonna have to do some strategic promoting to get Benavidez and Canelo to make, you know, the kind of money I think it instantly makes with Bud Crawford.
Keyshawn Davis laid out a few other potential opponents that he would like to see Terence fight, but this was before the Terence rematch was confirmed. Keyshawn stated, "We should have already been there, 154. If I'm Crawford, then I'm fighting Keith Thurman. If the Errol Spence rematch doesn't happen, then I'm fighting Keith Thurman. And if I'm not fighting Keith Thurman, then I'm fighting Jermell Charlo." Terence has also been called out by other fighters who are waiting their turn for a chance to take the champ down. Blair Cobb stated, "The only thing that's different between me and Terence is the fact that I'm ridiculously faster than Terence. And I hit a little bit harder on a certain level. He has more consistent punch power. I have out-of-nowhere punching power." Shakur Stevenson has sparred with Terence before, and he knows firsthand just how much power he brings to the ring.
So right now, where you at? Like, you start talking crazy to me, we start talking back and forth. This is like the beginning of me and Bud, like, even like just getting around each other. This is how we really became super cool. So I'm on my way to the gym and I go pull up on him. When I pull up on him, he's in there, he about to spar. So I'm like, yo, you gonna give me some rounds? I'm talking so crazy, like, and this is one of the one times that I had to actually learn that I'm not the best. Like, I gotta me right now, like. So I get in the ring and man, this dude got there beating me up. Like, we only sparred, I think 2 or 3 rounds. It was 4-minute rounds, man. This dude beat me up so bad. I swear to God, that was the worst something I ever had.
When it comes to power, Terence definitely brings a lot of that to the table. And Shakur Stevenson just talked about how he witnessed Terence use his power to knock out a heavyweight sparring partner. Shakur stated, "Honestly, I think that Bud beats anybody who he gets in the ring with, even at a higher weight class. I think that he's got all the tools and ability to beat anybody and everybody. He's got punching power, boxing IQ, boxing skills, and footwork. There's nothing he can't do in the ring, so I think he'd be a hard task for anybody. Another thing, his punching power translates to another weight class. I've been in the gym and seen him hurt a heavyweight, a 200 pounds plus dude. He hurt him and he was in there with wobbly legs. I was like, damn, this can punch that hard." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.